We keep on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling. No, we ain't slowing it down.
We ain't slowing
keep
down.
on moving. We keep on moving along. We keep on rolling.
Yeah.
No, we ain't slowing it down.
Let's go. We ain't slowing down, baby. Come and show me how. Gotta do it right now. You know you gotta hold me down. Can I let the moment pass? Good things they never last. Pull up in a whip, you know I had to hit the gas. Yeah, that's premium. Pull up with a team and I ain't worried about the other side. They know that they ain't beating. I'm on everything I love. Word to the man above. Keep it cool, calm, collected. At this point, you get the message. Life is hectic, but we gotta keep it rolling, though. Gotta keep it grooving, keep it moving like we stole it, though. Rolling with the punches, giving hits like we are Interscope. Even though I'm clocking, punching in, I'm independent, though. Staying prayed up, ain't nothing gon' phase us. Ain't never gon' let a lame say what they just made up. I never take a pay cut, we getting what we worth in. I never change the blueprint, cause we know it's really working.
Keep on moving.
Moving,
We keep on moving along.
keep it moving, keep it
rolling.
rolling.
No, we ain't slowing it down.
Never slowing down,
Keep
never
on moving.
moving,
We keep on moving along.
moving, keep it moving, keep it
rolling.
rolling.
No, we ain't
Keep it rolling, keep it
slowing
moving,
it
we ain't
down.
never gonna lose it. Cause we in it for the movement. If I'm lying, then I'm flying. Don't play into the amusement. If we trying, we ain't dying. Never sleep, never sleep, never. The moment that you rest your head, they think they can't compete. If you gotta skip steps, then the plan is not complete. Get your reps in, get your reps in, get your. Never rest on a past success. You gotta love what you do if you tryna be the best.
Keep on moving.
Moving,
We keep on moving along.
keep it moving, keep it
rolling.
rolling.
No, we ain't slowing it down.
Never slowing down, never
Keep on moving.
moving.
We keep on moving
Keep it
along.
moving, keep it moving, keep it
rolling.
rolling.
No, we
Keep
ain't
it rolling, keep it
slowing
moving. We ain't never gonna lose it.
Good day, good day. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Um, Today I want to talk about, you know, delay. For as many ways to look at this word. We can say it's good, we can say it's bad, but we just gonna start right here with the definition of what that is, right? Let's go ahead and hit that. So they say delay is, and as a verb, is to make someone or something late or slow, to be loiter. And the other one, as a noun, is a period of time by which something is late or postponed, right? So I know a lot of us understood that definition to the core, to slow down, to come to a halt, to come to a stop. It also says postpone. Let me just say this, right? There's a lot of things that's in our life that's happening right now that is delaying us from getting to a destination that we know we need to be at. Uh, you know, and as we go a little bit further, I like pulling words apart. So y'all have to bear with me, right? Because I'm gonna go ahead and just tap into what the D part in the delay means, right? It means to be down or away or reverse from a situation. There's things that are pulling us, that's got us in a halted situation, a stagnated situation, a place that we should not be in, a place to where it's keeping us from the goal or the destination. Now, a lot of us say that uh, black people are always late to a show, or they're always late to something, right? That's because we always have so much on our minds and things we kind of squeeze in to a last minute situation. That's why a lot of us are delayed as we speak. If you think about, the growth process, the growing process, a lot of us are still growing, but the growth process itself is always halted when we go away from the normalcy of progression. You know, a lot of us, a lot of us always has that stepping stone to where, all right, we need to go. I need to become a doctor. Let me use that as an example. So the first thing you must do, you must complete the courses in early life, right? K through 12. Then you have to, go ahead and take your college, whatever college you think is best for you. But then somewhere down the line, things get distracted. And then we said, you know what? A lot of, I've known people that said, you know what? I'm going to take a year off. I'm going to step away from this thing because something has pulled me away. Now, that's the delay. Now, how many times has the delay became your postponement? Meaning you didn't continue to pursue that doctor, that doctor license, that lawyer license, that brokerage license, those type of things. Why? Because something always comes up in the midst. That some people might say it's a fork in the road that makes you stop, and then you become delayed because you don't know which way to go. In the world of sports, they say that there's a penalty in basketball. It's a delay of game. In football, it's a delay of game. That becomes a penalty. One becomes a warning. In the NBA, it becomes a warning. But the second time, you get penalized by losing, by giving your opponent a free throw shot. In football, the delay of game, you go backwards 5 yards. So that's just the simplistic way of thinking about delay. Now, how many times, like I said, have we delayed ourselves in our lives? Some of us have stopped what we're doing, the progression, because of a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Some of us have stopped the progression, have become delayed because of a loss in life. Now, those are valid situations for some people because you're going through an emotional state and things like that. But the best way to overcome that delay is to continue to push forward. Just like if you in your car, if the car in front of you in a traffic delay, it inches forward, you take your foot off the brake and let your car crawl, but you're going to stop just before you hit the second car. We have to understand we need to break away from the delays in life. Just like as we need to breathe, we have to break away from the things that is holding us back, that is slowing us down, that is keeping us from pacing ourselves to get to the next goal in life, right? In this year, I've been practicing how to, take care of myself in my mental state and my emotional states and things like that. Because a lot of things has happened, even in this season. Yet, because I need to understand that I have to go forward, I didn't push things to the side. I just understood how to focus on it, get the result that I need, and go forward. That's because the delays in life is going to keep you away from your goal, right? If I'm trying to become the best father, I cannot also at the same time drown myself in working 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. Now, what if my kid needs me? Oh, I can't come to work. I can't come to you because I have to work. I understand that money is a necessity in order to live in this world. Yet, still in all, there must be an understanding or a balance to know that can't delay my relationship with my child or my children. Even in friendships, I get it. Like some people go through situations. I can't, I have to be respectful to those people. I have to empathize that, I understand you going through a situation, yet still in all, I can't delay the offer of being that friend. Hey, you need to talk to me. I'm here for you. You need to call me. Whatever you need from me, I am putting it on the table. If I delay that, the person on the other end might say, you know what, they may not care enough. So I'm not even going to bother to reach out to them, right? Even if you're at your job, if you don't call and say, hey, I'm on my way, but something has stopped me. The train delay, or I'm stuck in traffic, or I got a doctor's appointment, or whatever it is. If you delay that phone call, that employer may say, you know what, this person they ain't even bother to call me. They ain't even let me know that they're gonna be out. So hey, we're just gonna put that person on. We're gonna put that person on the list. What list? The list of, hey, you may be the first one to go if something happens, or I may fire you at that particular time. There has to be an understanding why delays are such a negative impact on a lot of people, because we get stuck there, we stagnate there, we sit there and you know what? It's so much going on. I'm not gonna sit there and make this trip because, even though my child needs me, I need to go ahead, man, and make this money because I got to pay this rent. I'm a few dollars short, or things of that nature. We have to stop putting things in front of our goals, because once we start putting more hurdles in front of the goals, then we become delayed. We become stagnated, and we know that stagnation kills dreams, and it also kills momentum. That's what a delay is. A delay does the same exact thing. It slows you down from getting to your destination. I want to put out this word, so let me make sure that I get it out there. Wait a minute, but I got a phone call. Wait a minute, I got a I got a family issue. Yes, I am taking care of myself, but at the same time, when you need to push that thing out there, you push it out there. Why? Because if you delay it, it may get diluted. You may forget what the passion is for you wanting to put this out there. I'm speaking for myself, of course, and that's why I got to go ahead and do the things that I need to do. But you have to understand, as long as you delay it, it may not hit the person in the same impact, because they may not receive the passion that you have for the word that is coming towards you. You know what I'm saying? So it's a necessity, man, that you don't delay yourself from your goals. It's a necessity, not a want, a need. You gotta need this thing, because if you keep making it a want, you will delay the effort, you will delay the goals, you will delay the meaning of the message, or your energy, or your efforts. Like I said, you may push that to the side if you want, but once it becomes delayed, it's not as strong as it is when it hits you on time, right? People always say God is good, and all the time He's good, but when there's when they don't get it, when they want to get it, they felt like it was delayed, so it doesn't mean as much. Sometimes we have to understand that standing still is not a delay. Sometimes we have to understand going through those situations doesn't mean that your effort is getting delayed. Sometimes you have to see how strong you are to receive the things that you are asking for. So you asking for that good friend. Sometimes they may disappear for a little bit, but yet still in all, when they come on time, like, damn, bro, I really need, you called right on time, because I was just thinking about you and this and this. Or damn, sis, you called right on time because I needed your perspective on this, and you called me just when I was thinking about it. Right? I don't think it's a delay. Maybe this is just my opinion, or I know it's not a delay when you stand still, because sometimes you have to see what you're going through. That's part of the pacing that you need to go through in this thing called life. And that's not a delay, because you have to be prepared for all aspects. You can't go into like parenting. Parenting is one of the things that we may pick up on, later in life. We may pick up on something later in life. If you have a kid, right, you have your first child, right? You go through learning stages of how to manage that first child, right? And then when you have another child, your first child might say, wait a minute, mom, wait a minute, dad, you ain't do this with me. Why? Because there's a progression that goes on. Sometimes you have to stand still and see what you did right or what you did wrong in order to correct the errors that you felt like you created. So you have to understand that standing still is not a delay. A delay is when you are being pulled away from something. Standing still is just that. You don't have the movement. When you're being delayed, you being pulled away. Your time is being slowed down. Your time is Riaz, what's good afternoon. Time is being pulled away from you. So just standing still to observe your situation, to see what's going on around you is not a delay. The delay is when you don't pick up, when you ain't able to read or progress what's going on around you, and then you go forward and then you stop. That's when your delays more than likely occur in your life. You understand? And we have to do better in understanding what's going on in our life. Like if we agree, like on this app, there's a lot of people that progress, right? They're trying to stay away from the chaos. They're trying to stay away from the mayhem. But soon as somebody says something about them, they feel like they got to respond. I'm saying that's a delay for them because you don't need to go backwards to prove a point of who you are. Show who you are by continuing to go forward. It doesn't mean that they get the advantage over you. It doesn't mean that they got a one up on you. Sometimes you have to understand going forward means you have a one up on that individual because you don't have to respond to negative criticism. You don't have to respond to a lie. And I'm one of them people that say, you know what? I hate when people lie on me because I got to defend myself, right? Yet still in all, as you going forward, the building of this new person, the building of this new character that you are creating, it gets to show, well, even if that was true, that's not you today. Right? So we have to understand what we did yesterday does not define who we have to be today, especially when we are going forward and making ourselves a new person, a new creature, a new character, so to speak. But the delay is when you keep going back to your old ways to defend yourself and giving them a piece of your mind and all that. Sometimes that piece of mind, the PIECE, it distracts you and takes you away from the PEACE that you're going forward towards to get to your destination. And that delay can be more harmful because it can pull you so far back that it will postpone your trip to the piece that you was once focused on. This is why we have to sit down and really understand why delays aren't good for you. Now, we could talk about the positives of delays in another segment, but I'm just talking about the negative side of delay here, right? Because even when you grow, that the growth process, that's all I'm really talking about. The growth process, you got to stand, right? You got to have the balance to stand up, right? Even when you stand up, you know there's a possibility that you're going to fall, but the progression is, you have the strength to get up, because there's some people who fall and won't get up because they don't want to take the effort, or they're embarrassed that they fell down. A baby's going to continue to get up. And that's why, in the eyes of spirituality, we are all babes in spirit, because as long as you can continue to bounce yourself back up, stand up to where, I'm not just going to sit here and let this thing continue to hold me down. That's when you understand that you are not trying to delay. You feel like you need to go forward in your life. Those are the things that most people should be focused on. That's the thing that I'm focused on. And that's why I could come up here and have this conversation, because I know there's a lot of people that are delayed. A flat tire, you got to stand there and wait for AAA to come through, right? Somebody, you hit a screw or a rock or something blows your tire out. Most people, they're not gonna stand there and wait for AAA to come. Some people are going to sit there and say, you know what? Because I'm in the mode where I need to get to where I need to get to. They will go in the back, find that donut, that fifth wheel, put it on that to replace the busted wheel, and go forward with it. Now, you may not get there as fast as you want to, but the fact that you get there is what makes you not delayed. right? Because if you stand there and wait for people, you might have to wait for an hour. How many people you saw on the highway who was stranded and you passed them by, the car behind you passed them by, and then half an hour later, you probably say, yo, I wonder how many people passed that person by. Because everybody's trying to get to where they get to, and stopping to help somebody, even if it's a good thing, they don't want to be delayed from getting to where they want to get to. And that's a lot of us, right? I've done it before. I'm not going to lie to you. I've done it before. Damn, that person might be stranded. Why? Because some people might think of the negative, right? What if this person, I'm sitting there trying to help them for a half an hour. I'm glad you're doing well, Riaz. I'm glad, like if I stop and help this person for a half an hour, that's a half an hour off of my designated time that I need to be, I'm trying to get to, or where I need to get to. It stop that. Even though it's for the right reason, a delay can be viewed as a negative concept because you're trying to get to where you get to. And a lot of us need to get to where we need to get to in the first place. Then we can come back and help other people. And as far as working on ourselves and becoming better versions of ourselves and doing things like that, even I do it. That's why a lot of the times I step away, not because I don't have nothing to talk about. I can talk. In this mind, so many things come up that want to be spoken, that I want to speak about. Yet, because I understand that I must be ready to have that conversation. But if I just go out there and be unprepared, it delays the message that needs to be, that needs to go out there. So this is why you got to take your time. That's why you got to pace yourself. That's why, when I say the race is to give it to the swift nor the strong, or those who endure, it's not a delay. You're pacing yourself, which means sometimes you can go fast in your race. Sometimes you got to go slow in your race. But the thing that you better not do, or you should not do, I'm not going to say better because, I better not do. I'll speak for me. I better not stop, because if I stop and I get to, turn my head and see something over there, a shiny new toy, I might get distracted and take myself out of the race. And now, instead of me reaching the goal, I'm sitting there, I might play with the shiny new toy so long that I'm not even racing anymore. I declined to finish my race, right? Just like if I have I said I have a passion to do this, and I have to find ways to continue the passion. But if I delay it by being distracted by going over here and going over there, I might not finish the race. This is why, when I'm over there with Mr. 33 Sports Chat, I got to continue the process. It doesn't matter how many people come over there. It doesn't matter that he's putting up a thing for fantasy league, and people come through. They come through. If they don't, they don't. But the fact that he makes himself available, there's no delaying that there's going to be progress on that side. So that's why when we over there, we just continue to do what we do. Just like when I'm here, I continue to do what I do here. Why? Because the consistency, the ongoing of a situation, it may not be on point all the time. I definitely understand that part. I may come off a little sluggish. I might come off like blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, if you look at the consistency or the long haul of the conversations, or the long haul of the characteristics that's being displayed through my voice, you understand that he definitely ain't trying to harm. He's trying to show people that there is another way of going forward and not just sitting there and going backwards. That's the delay. There's so many people that just make you stop and think and stop and say, you know what, I think I'm going the wrong way. Well, I know I'm doing the opposite, because there's some people that really say, you know what, now that I think about it, if I did move my right foot and then move my left foot, I will be going forward and not, taking a step back if I stretch my leg in front of my body. You understand what I'm saying? That's the progression that we need in everyday life. So if we are struggling to become the best version of ourselves, it's okay to say, you know what, let me look at other avenues and see what can help me go forward in this life. Because we don't have all the answers. We really, really don't. You know what I mean? Shout out to people like Word. Shout out to people like Commander. Shout out to young Riaz. right? Shout out to realists. There's people that's in, that listen, you did great, but let's look at it from this perspective. It'll help you to continue to go forward. Like right now, there may be 0 people in the score. How you feeling? There could be 0 people in the chat, right? And then it could be very easy for somebody to say, you know what, I ain't doing this no more. Why? Because ain't nobody viewing this, ain't nobody here while I'm talking live and in person. But if you understand that there are other people that's going to catch it on the rebound, your message may not be delayed. Your words won't be delayed. It's just that they will catch it at their time and not your time. My time is not for everybody, right? Meaning that I'm on live now, but there could be people that's busting their humps at a job and they can't listen to the live because they're at work. Or there's people that's sleeping because they probably just came home from work, or they just put the baby to sleep and they trying to rest because the baby's resting. And that's all understandable. The fact of the matter is I'm not going to delay the message, and they're not going to delay receiving the message. They will get it on their time, just like I have to give it to you on my time. So now that is being delivered to you, you understand why delays can be harmful to you. You understand that, a delay can make sure that you say, you know what, man, I give up, man. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it there on time, because the one thing that we should be delaying that we ain't going to delay. Now, this is one of the times where this is what I was telling you about, delay could be a positive is death. We should be trying to delay our deaths, right? Whether it's emotion, especially emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Now, physically, we know what we got to do. We got to eat well. We got to take care of our bodies, so on and so forth. Those are the delays that we should be that we should be wanting in our lives. But instead, we want to delay ourselves from becoming that healthy person. We want to delay ourselves from becoming that person who is sound of mind, right? If we getting older, right? So we have to understand 40, 50 years old, you can't do the intake of sugar. Why? Because it's going to delay the process of you of things reaching your mind. And what happens when that happens? You become sick. You become Alzheimer's and dementia and things like that. Why? Because we ain't delaying the thing. That's the only time we should be delaying ourselves. But we don't do that all the time, because at the end of the day, we want to do what feels best for us. And sometimes a feeling shouldn't overtake our logical concept, but a lot of the time it does, because we all understand that feelings matter. But we can't let feelings control everything that's in our life. So the health aspect of the situation is that we need to sit down and say, you know what, let's try to calm down, because I'm trying to remember everything. And just because you forgot your keys doesn't mean you have Alzheimer's. And just because you forgot, what day it is at that particular time, you might have so much on your mind. It doesn't mean that. But we feel like we are delaying our health and stuff like that. We don't even take the time to say, you know what, let's get better with it. And that's the whole thing. The delay, you're delaying yourself from becoming a better person, a better set of mind, a better thought process, a better emotional character. If you delay working on your emotions, discernment doesn't matter. It won't connect with you. If you don't have if you don't practice on your hearing concept, you will delay observation skill. If you don't know how to talk to people, you will delay communications with people around you. Those are the negative aspects of the delay that I'll be talking about, right? But like I said, we got to work on ourselves on an everyday basis. We can't just allow money to stop us. We can't just allow a situation to pull us back into what we used to do. You know how many times people have spoken to other people because they're no longer who they used to be? I know we do that with our parents. We do that with our grandparents, right? Because we always say, hey, Mom, you so easy with this kid. Hey, Dad, you so lenient with this kid. I remember you popped me upside my head if I would have said something like that. But the problem is, that's not their child. That's your child to discipline. That's your child to show that, hey, that's not the right or wrong way to do things. And even if they do Even if they do baby them, give them all the sweets and stuff and send them home. You know what you got to do? You got to say, yo, this is, hey, your grandparents love you, but, you know, they want to spoil you, but I can't spoil you because I have to prepare you for no says in the world, right? Because if you spoil your child and then that child goes out there in the world and then they don't hear all the yeses that they need, they are defeated because you delayed the teachings of why you don't get to, why spoiling a child is not a good thing, right? And that's why, you know, me personally, I don't call my daughters princesses. I will never call my daughter a prince. I will never call my daughters princesses, because if they have it in their mind that they're princesses, that means they feel like the person that's coming up to them got to treat them as such. That's not the way of the world. So you have to teach them before they go out there. Otherwise, they will have a delay in understanding that because I treat you that way, everybody else is not going to treat you that way. And that's the thing that we have to understand. What you do at home, it may not be as good as, it may not work out there in the ways of the world, but you have to distinguish the two. And if you delay that, your child could go outside with no preparation, and they could be wounded for a long period of time, especially, you know, mentally, because dang, my parents never did that. My daddy never showed me, you know, that I had to go out there and go to the store for myself. My daddy, I just asked my daddy to get it, he get it, right? That's why some girls are the way they are. Some dudes are like that with their moms. Like my mom always cooked for me. So now when they go out in the world, now, hey, mommy's not here. So what am I gonna eat? So now you're going fast food it, DoorDash it, and do all those things. Why? Because you were delayed in learning that sometimes you got to do for yourself. You got to cook for yourself. You got to do this for yourself. Listen, this is how you boil an egg. This is how you boil rice. This is how you fry chicken, things like that, because they never taught you that. And so because they never taught you that, you are unprepared for the ways of the world. That's the delay that we should be working on. Like I want to know most situations. You're not going to know all situations. Let's not get it crazy. Let's not get it misconstrued. We're not going to know all of these things because we haven't been through all of those situations, right? That's like a single person telling you how to be married. If you listen to a single person to how you get married, you may delay yourself from getting married because they don't have a clue of how to be married. So you would take the instructions from a married person or a person that was divorced, because even if they are divorced, you can learn what not to do from them. But if you delay yourself from having an understanding of where you're trying to go, you may miss the cues, and you may miss the red flags and the signs that you need to. Hey, there's construction on the road. We need to go on a detour. A detour is not a delay. It's a delay, but it's not the delay that you're thinking about. It's pulling you. You're still heading toward your destination. It may take time off of your destination, but the detour is to make sure that you still reach your destination. The traffic stop is the delay, not the detour, because you're going to make that detour because you know you got to get to that destination. So if you sit in the traffic, are you moving? That's the delay. So we have to understand there's going to be trips and turns and ups and downs in this thing called life. But we can't sit there in the traffic and then cry about that we are delayed. Take the detours, right? I had to take a detour, right? Because I lost my parents. Now, just imagine if I delayed my growth because I went outside and learned from the wrong people, right? I thought I was learning how to become a man in the streets, and obviously that doesn't teach you how to become a family man. You understand what I'm saying? The streets are the streets, family is family, indoors, outdoors are two different sections, right? So in order for you to become that person that you have to grow up, that you have to grow into, you have to take that detour. Damn, I ain't got no parents, so let me go chill with aunt who's married to my aunt, and let me see how that works out. Oh, so you got to go to bed on time to make it to school. You gotta eat at this time so that way you can have something in your stomach and not go without food, right? But if you delay yourself from going that route, you may not never learn that stuff. If you stay on that course, that's a dead end. You're gonna crash and burn. That's why you take detours and not sit in the traffic. You understand what I'm saying? If there's people that's people, like I said, there's people on here that tells me how to do things. You know what I mean? There's people that say, you know what? I think we should go this route. I think you should go that route. Just take that route. You may not get there. It may take off a half an hour of your time. It may even add mileage to your car. But the fact of the matter is you're getting there. The car is you. You are the car. You trying to reach the destination. Your mind is the map. You're trying to get to wherever it is that you're trying to get to. Yes, and that's the thing. When you deal with that type of concept, you become delayed, because if you standing still, you probably cursing a person out. When road rage really, really, really happens is when you sitting there wasting your time trying to give that person a bird because they cut you off. Man, I'm just going straight to where I need to go. And sometimes that road rage can cause you not to just delay your trip, but it can end your trip in the wrong manner. Jail, death, whatever, right? That's why you don't sit there and play with these people. You go forward. Don't delay yourself with nonsense. That's the point that needs to be made here. Stop delaying yourself with nonsense. If you got to go to work, you go to work. Of course you do. But you do got to make time for yourself in your state of mind. That's why these people, if they telling you got FMLA, take your FMLA. Meaning that, hey, my mental health is not right because y'all keep cramming stuff in my mind and I don't know if I'm mentally able to handle it. Take that time off. Take that time off and get yourself together, because the longer you sit there and go through that thing, you are delaying that peace that you need in order to be able to focus on the life that's in front of you. Your job is not the only part of your life. You have a job. You have a thing called home life, right? You might just go in your house and sit there and put your feet up and just woosah. That's a part of your life, because that job could, if you let that job overcompensate that peace at home, you're gonna be more chaotic than you are peaceful. That's a delay. A delay means there's something stopping you from getting to your destination. There's something stopping you from reaching your goal. You have to find out what's your delay. Not the giant that's stopping you from the biggest moment. I'm not talking about that, even though that is a delay too, because you got to take that giant down as well. But the delay is something that's stopping you from progressing, from going forward, from elevating, from doing those things. What is delaying you from becoming the person that you need to be? Stop putting those wants in front of your needs. Stop putting that goofiness in front of your joy. Stop putting that hate in front of your love, right? Stop putting that there, because the more you put that in front of you, the more that's going to become a blockage for you. The more that's going to delay you from being that peaceful person, that happy person, that great father, that great mother, that great husband, that great wife. That's why divorces happen, because you are so delayed in what you're thinking about that you ain't focused on progressing into that happy marriage. I didn't say a loving marriage, because the love gonna come. The love comes when it comes. But the fact is, when you are focused on the goal, you work on the goal. The love is gonna progress in that marriage. I promise you that. Even with you at your lowest of lows. I think my 33 brother can speak it better than I, because he's going through that situation. I know he don't have to tell me this, but I know his wife is loving him the more, because not because he's in the situation that he is, it's because of his progression through the situation that he's in. Like, damn, you know what, babe? I love you even more. Like I said, that's not my story to tell. I just see it. He can tell you better than I can tell you if I'm right or wrong. But the fact is, he's progressing through the thing that could have easily caused him to delay himself in a matter of, you know what? Delay means delay could cause you to give up. That's what a stagnation is. You quit, you give up. Y'all know what I say. If you a quitter never wins, and a winner never quits. So you're gonna make sure that progression happens, even if you have to detour. You're not just gonna sit in that rut. You're not gonna just sit in that traffic. You're gonna just like you're gonna Google, hey, what is my detour from this traffic jam? Well, if you go this way, you'll get there, but this is the fastest route. What does it say when you on your GPS? This is the fastest way to get to your destination. Even in the traffic jam, we're going to detour you to go to the things that you need to go to get to your destination. That's what we need to do in this thing called life today. We have to find a way not to sit in the delay, but to overcome the delays, to work through the delays. Because if you work through the delays step by step, crawl by crawl, inch by inch, you are still progressing to get to your destination. But if you sit in the traffic, that's not moving. You stagnating your momentum. And that's the thing that I want people to not go through as we go forward in this life. Like I said, maybe if I'm not giving this, if I'm not explaining it clear enough, just take the time to sit there and dissect the things that I'm saying to you. Just like how I dissected this word. When you see that the word D means take away, pull, a reversal, things like that, you understand why you should not be pulling away from the goal that you laid down for yourself. You pulling away from the thing that you constructed in order for you to become better. Excuse me. You're not going to reach the goal because you're pulling away from it. You go towards it. That's the opposite. That's a relay, not a delay. That's why relay races, you got to hand this thing off for somebody to continue to go forward. The delay is you waiting for that person to get to you. So you're standing there. Oh my God, hurry up so I can go because I feel it. I got the momentum. I'm ready to go right now. That's the relay. That's the thing that we should be looking for. Someone to hand the baton over to you. Sometimes you got to hand the baton to yourself. How? By going through the detours in your life. If you go through the detours, the relay is that, hey, I'm moving, and instead of me going 5 miles an hour, I might be going 35 miles an hour. It's better than the 5 miles an hour because I'm still gaining the momentum of going to the destination that I need to be. And of course, everybody's not going to understand the message, and of course, everybody's not going to take the message for what it is. That's not on me. The fact that I'm speaking about it is the progression, not the delay. And that's why I continue to do the things that I do, because the progression is not stopping, it's still going. The delay is if I sit there and be hesitant on stepping on the gas. The light means green, it means go. If you sit in that's why a lot of us step on the gas when that light turns yellow, because we don't want to get caught at the red light. We want to continue our progress. The delay is the red light. The inching, the 5 miles an hour is the yellow light. But if we step on it, we trying to get to that next green light to keep the flow going. That's what I want from my peoples. That's what I want y'all to understand. Even when things are down, that's why I have so much respect for my 33 brother. Because it's very easy for somebody to say, man, I quit. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm losing this. I'm losing that. But he's still going forward. He may feel like it's not at his 100%. And I encourage him like, yo, you're 50%. You're 70%. It's better than most people's 100%. Why? Because they just doing it because they feel like, hey, it's just moving forward. You doing this because your purpose is giving you that strength to go forward. That's respect. That's loving for that individual. You know what I mean? It's very easy for somebody, people could talk the junk that they talk. Hey, he ain't, they could say whatever there is that they're gonna say about him. But what they can't say is that his strength and his consistency is what attracts all of us to when he speaks. I'm going to be there. That's a strength. That's not a delay. That's a progression, because he gives you that. Yeah, let's look at this from this perspective. Look at it from that perspective, right? Like I said, he could have easily said, you know what, man, y'all ain't showing up, man. I quit. But he's not a quitter, because quitters don't win. That's a progression. That's not a delay. And that's what I want you. Like, I'm so proud of Scorp, because Scorp could have been one of those people. You know what? I'ma just y'all keep talking about me. I'ma just go ahead and just revert back to Scorp, and I'ma snap this claw on you. But now she's sitting there like, you know what? I'm gonna let these people, y'all got it. Let me keep going forward with what I gotta go forward with. Riaz is the same way. Some people, they try to take advantage of his youth and things like that. But he has a strength to where, you know what, y'all can talk about me however y'all want to talk about me, but I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna be Riaz. I'm still gonna put out what I put out. I'm still gonna, say what I say, even if you don't hear me. And then he may not lose sleep, and you shouldn't lose sleep over that. Why? Because you're doing the thing that you feel like your progression in life is going to allow you to do. Now, of course, we got to be careful, because a lot of us are going into territories we shouldn't even be in the first place. But the fact is, when you are progressing, you're going forward, you get to learn the lessons. It's when you don't learn your lessons, that's where the delay kicks in. So if you keep being that person that you keep putting yourself in harmful states, hey, the delay I'm telling you, the delay is going to pull you away from a thing that you don't really want to do. It's either going to harm you, or, dare I say, and I hope that's not the case, it's going to eliminate you. So take the detours. Don't sit in the traffic. Don't sit in the delay. Don't sit in the delays. Take the detours. You still got progression, even if it's not the clearest of roads. If it's taking you up and down and around your traffic jam, you take that road. The progression is well worth you not sitting in that delay. That's called the traffic jam that's in your life. So with that being said, y'all, I appreciate everybody coming through. Shout out to Scorp, appreciate you. Shout out to Riaz, I appreciate you. But that's the thing. We have to understand that delay is that it's gonna keep you where you are. And in order for you to become that better person, you need to take that detour and not sit in that traffic jam that's delaying you from where you want to go. So, we'll be back soon. We'll be over there with Mr. 33 tonight. We'll be talking about sports. There's a lot of things that's going on in that world. We'll be over there talking about that. Russell Westbrook retired, things like that. We're talking about sports. We just kicking it over there. We'll be over there later on tonight, 11:30. But I'm always around. Like, I'm always here. Just because you may not see me go live as often as I once did, I'm still in the vicinity, right? It's not a delay. I'm just trying to progress to where we can be, I can be better understood and better used, than rather just sit there and try to, be the repetitive person, because repetitiveness can be a delay as well. So with that being said, y'all, I'll see y'all next time. Appreciate y'all stopping by. I'm out.